were a bit confused about all the fans, or I'd say lack thereof of all the fans in Stadium 2 while Rybakina was playing. As you can see from videos and pictures, if we were to say that there are hundreds of people watching this match, that would be a stretch.
Fergus, I cannot play Rafa anymore, but if he would make like 10 times time violation to Rafa, because like you need to have some common sense sometimes.
And seeing the Brazilian fans, I mean, that's what you kind of want, you know, you want that new atmosphere. Same for Eala, having all the Philippine fans from coming, you know, to support her. It's fantastic.
Tommy Haas, the director of the prestigious Indian Wells Tennis Garden, is in crisis mode. He's facing a massive decline in ticket sales ever since the stunning young tennis star, Alex Eala, was knocked out of the tournament.
Tommy Haas, the director of the prestigious Indian Wells Tennis Garden, is in crisis mode. He's facing a massive decline in ticket sales ever since the stunning young tennis star Alex Eala was knocked out of the tournament. This has left Haas scrambling to find a way to bring the crowds back into the stadium. But wait, things just got even more intense. Haas has even gone so far as to criticize the WTA for not capitalizing on Eala's massive appeal. Let's break down exactly what's been going on and how Alex Eala's star power has turned the Indian Wells tournament upside down. Alex Eala, a rising star from the Philippines, made a jaw-dropping debut at the 2026 Indian Wells tournament. The young prodigy's first match was against Diana Yastremska, and it wasn't just any match. It was a record-breaking event in tennis history. You might think it's an exaggeration, but this match shattered expectations. The demand for tickets to watch Eala play was so overwhelming that ticket prices skyrocketed to previously unthinkable levels. In fact, Indian Wells made a staggering $5 million in ticket sales from that one match alone. However, Indian Wells set a single-day attendance record of more than 58,000 fans on the first Friday. This wasn't just about the numbers, though. It was about the atmosphere, the energy, and the sheer passion of the fans who showed up to see Alex Eala in action. Over 58,000 fans flooded the venue to watch the young Filipino sensation. The crowd's energy was electric, and everyone knew they were witnessing something special. Tommy Haas, the director of Indian Wells, was understandably ecstatic. For a tournament like Indian Wells, with its rich history and prestige, this was something monumental. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. As quickly as Eala had captured the hearts of tennis fans, she was eliminated from the tournament. And what happened next was even more shocking. The ticket sales plummeted. The stadiums, which had been filled to capacity for Eala's match, now sat eerily empty. The audience that had packed the stands to cheer on Alex Eala had disappeared almost overnight. It was like the magic had gone and the tournament's energy was draining out.
We're a bit confused about all the fans, or I'd say lack thereof of all the fans in Stadium 2 while Rybakina was playing. As you can see from videos and pictures, if we were to say that there are hundreds of people watching this match, that would be a stretch.
Tommy Haas, who had been riding high on the success of Eala's match, suddenly found himself in a panic. With the crowd thinning out, Haas was scrambling to figure out how to fill the stadiums again. And what was his solution? Well, Tommy Haas, in a desperate attempt to reverse the downward spiral, has reportedly been trying to arrange 1 or 2 exhibition matches featuring none other than Alex Eala herself. That's right, he wants to get Eala back on the court, even if it's not part of the official tournament, in an effort to bring the fans back. Haas has reportedly even tried to get Eala to play an exhibition match before the start of the Miami Open, just to revive the ticket sales. Now, what's even more interesting about this situation is the reaction from the broader tennis world. It's no secret that Alex Eala's rise has been meteoric, but it wasn't always smooth sailing. Back at the Australian Open, for instance, when Eala qualified to play, the WTA made a controversial decision to place her on smaller courts instead of giving her a spot on the main stage. As a result, hundreds of thousands of fans were left standing in long lines, hoping to get a glimpse of their idol. It was clear to many that the WTA was doing everything it could to downplay Eala's popularity, despite her massive fan base. But instead of extinguishing the fire, it only added fuel to the flames. Fans wanted more, and the hype surrounding Eala grew even bigger. Now, it's important to note that Eala's rise is not just about hype or controversy. It's about her incredible talent and hard work. When Novak Djokovic, one of the greatest players of all time, praises Alex Eala, you know she's something special. Djokovic has been quoted saying that watching Eala play on television is great, but watching her live is even better. Coming from someone who's competed against some of the best players in the world, this is no small compliment. Djokovic's words carry significant weight in the tennis community, and it's clear he recognizes the genuine talent Eala brings to the court.
Weight in the tennis community, and it's clear he recognizes the genuine talent Eala brings to the court.
Alex Eala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest.
But despite all this praise and attention, there's still a lot of tension between the WTA and the tournament organizers at Indian Wells. Tommy Haas is no longer just concerned about ticket sales. He's now publicly expressing his frustration with the WTA's handling of Alex Eala's star power. He believes that the WTA missed a huge opportunity to capitalize on the massive demand for Eala's matches. Instead of giving her the platform she deserved, the WTA chose to downplay her popularity, which has only hurt the tournament in the long run. Haas isn't the only one who's frustrated by this situation. Many of Eala's fans, as well as tennis players, have expressed their admiration for the young Filipino. Maria Sharapova, the former world #1, has been particularly vocal about the significance of Eala's success. She pointed out that Eala's rise is not just about her individual achievements, but about the representation she provides for Asian athletes in tennis. For years, tennis has been dominated by players from Europe and North America, and while the sport has grown globally, Asian representation at the very top level of women's tennis has been rare. Sharapova believes that Alex Eala is changing that narrative and inspiring millions of people who may have never felt represented in professional tennis before. She's bringing a new wave of enthusiasm and passion to the sport, and fans from all over Asia are rallying behind her. Sharapova's words are a reminder of the importance of diversity and representation in sports, and how Eala's success is helping to break barriers.
These are so special, but if you treat them too high, and you treat the tough moments as a really big low in your career, it's hard to find that happy medium, and I think that's what that sweet spot is.
But back to the situation at hand. Tommy Haas is in full crisis mode. With the stadiums empty and ticket sales in a free fall, he's now looking at one last-ditch effort to salvage the situation. The exhibition match with Alex Eala. Haas is hoping that by having Eala back on the court, even if it's just for an exhibition, the fans will return. The plan is to create a spectacle that will reignite the excitement and bring the crowds back in time for the women's final. And let's be real, it's not a bad idea. Alex Eala has already proven that she can draw huge crowds, and with her back on the court, the energy in the stadium would be electric once again. Haas knows that the Eala effect is real, and he's hoping to capitalize on it before it's too late. But it's also clear that he's frustrated with the WTA's role in all of this. He feels that the organization hasn't done enough to support Eala and her growing popularity. In conclusion, the situation at Indian Wells is a fascinating one. Tommy Haas is trying to pull every trick in the book to bring the crowds back, and his frustration with the WTA is palpable. Eala's star power is undeniable, and it's clear that the fans love her. But the question remains, will the WTA finally give Eala the recognition she deserves, or will they continue to downplay her rise? One thing's for sure, the story of Alex Eala is just getting started, and it's one that's changing the landscape of women's tennis. That's all for today's video, folks. What do you think? Should the WTA be doing more to support Alex Eala, or is Tommy Haas overreacting? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the world of tennis. See you next time.